I'm also recording.
5, 4, 3, 2. Nice, 2.
Thank you.
1.
Ah, fuck, I was literally playing the jingle.
Pete. And Steven. Pete. And Steven. Pete. And Steven. Pete. And Steven. This is Pete and Steve Waste Your Time. Pete and Steven always get stuck in my head.
I like that song.
It's a great song. I think.
Yeah.
I think I need to learn how to play like instruments better, like you, so that we can do like special versions of that. Only because I think what we have right now is kind of like jazzy night show kind of thing. That's how that theme evolved. That's why I think it's spot on for what we want to do, because that's, I think, kind of how we play on this. But it would be really funny if I could do like a country western, like Pete and Steven, something like that. I don't know.
Let me see what I can do. I mean, I've been whenever they. Sorry, I had to stop for a second and think, am I going to share what I do for a living? Have I already shared what I do for a living? Do I want to give up any of that information? Basically,
I don't know, Steve. We've never talked about it before.
Is this the moment? Is it canon already?
Yeah, careful.
So anyways,
wait, hold on. What if none of that was true? It was all just part of the same bullshit.
Right.
Me and Steve are day traders. We don't have fucking jobs.
I don't even live in the USA.
No, Steve's.
I live in Fiji in a small hut.
Fiji in a small hut, exactly.
I make all my money on PnS Waste Your Time podcast.
Which is just oodles of it.
Oodles of it.
Yeah, funny.
But anyway, so at work right now, there's a lot of people. I'm going to say quote sick. There's only 4 weeks, 3.5. Right. Now there's only 2.5 weeks left before break. So people are sick a lot, and that means we don't have a lot of subs. So usually, how much we get fired for this? Usually on my prep period, I use that as a mental restabilization. Period, which I think is okay. It's a
break
during that period. I try to write music for us.
Sure,
because I'm a music teacher, anyways. So I'll go in there and just kind of jam. All last week, they had me subbing in my class in other classrooms during that time.
Okay.
Which is not the worst. I mean, I get some extra pay for doing that.
Sure.
But it means that my goal of writing, I have a couple songs I have in the back of my head to write.
Yeah.
Just to give all our audience and you a hint. One's called Peanut Butter Baby Ah. And the other one is called What You Gonna Do. I'm working on those. So
I think it's funny you can remember. Because I'll get song ideas, which is to say it's unrefined, but I'll get a rhythm in my head. And I think to myself, man, I wish I could play guitar well enough to like go write this down so I remember to develop it later. But it's gone. It's gone 10 minutes later. So. It's
in my head, but sometimes I don't have the right tools to make what I want.
Right.
So I've been on this weird debating thing of like, Macs are superior for music making. I don't care what anybody says. I've used the PC Band Lab thing, which is online. And I've used my Mac, and my Mac just is superior.
Yeah.
But it's old. I mean, it's so old that it's 3 operating systems that it can't run for their upgrades. Because Mac does free operating system upgrades.
Right.
For the past 3, my Mac's been like, I can't do it, bud.
Yep.
Sorry, bud.
Wait, that's what they said. And I didn't ever get really a Mac because I was never creative enough to think like I needed a suites. But wasn't that initially how they sold Macs? There was way better creative suites. It was way better for that. And, from a PC standpoint, I was always kind of like, well, there's less. It's kind of like the AOL of internet providers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There wasn't much you could really fuck with in the AOL setup, but it usually always ran. So the Mac is kind of the same thing. Reliable, but there isn't a whole lot of you can't get into the engine too much. Whereas PC and Linux on the sliding scale.
On them.
Yeah. Well,
that
now
was a big pull too.
Yeah.
Now you can, but back then, And I still wouldn't play my games on a Mac.
Right.
My PC's way stronger.
Yeah.
And maybe I should do BandLab, but I just don't want to. So. Oh, fuck. I just noticed that sound's not going to come through on the,
Is it
podcast
not?
because I'm recording straight through the microphone. Oh, give me yeah, I'd have to change my microphone. Fuck it. Those sounds on my end.
Yep. Just try to simulate it.
Ooh, what you want to do?
That's pretty spot on.
Thank you.
So just throw that in randomly. It'll work exactly the same. No one's going to know the difference.
I'm just going to do all my sound.
Exactly.
You know what? New idea. I'm going to go
Shadow Wizard
all
Money
of
Game.
the sound effects. We love casting spells.
See? Same. Spot on.
Easy.
You couldn't tell a difference.
Watch out, copyright.
Watch out.
Guy in town.
Yeah, watch out, hardworking YouTube sound clip makers. There's guys out there like me and Steve that sound just like you. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. I got bronchitis. Speaking of which, I don't know if the urgent care doctor just decided I have asthma now, but I've been getting text messages from CVS saying, "Hey, you got another inhaler, come get it."
Come pick this shit up.
I'm like, it said no refills. What is this crap?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get it.
It's kind of funny because I've brought it up to you. I don't know if it's come up on the podcast, but Smog is sick, my bearded dragon. Probably long-term sickness. Doing well, so we're happy about that. So you can take the happiness away from
nice, yeah.
But they gave me a thing. It said on the side of it, "Keep refrigerated." I didn't notice that. Okay. Ooh. I noticed it the day after. It had already been out all night. And so I messaged, and my vet has like a texting line, so you can just ask questions really quickly. So I texted. I said, "I didn't notice that. Is it now bad?" No response.
Right.
I didn't hear anything back. Hours later, I get an email that says, "Your medicine is ready to be picked up." I didn't order any medicine. And I said to myself...
Which, it feels like a scam, right?
Yeah, and so I immediately said to myself, well, I didn't order anything. I asked if what I now had was bad. If this is the way of confirming with me, without answering my question, that it's bad, and they've now given me more shit, okay, that's what it is. I would like someone to tell me that before you charge me, $30 fucking dollars for the shit. So, long story short, the answer was sort of yes, and I was just like, fucking fine, went and picked it up and went for it. But, yeah. Same Z's, kind of.
Yeah, it's, and I'm so used to getting the weird, like, your post office package couldn't be delivered. Click this link. And I'm like, oh, shit. And so, like, I see the CVS one. I'm like, I don't have a fucking prescription.
What is this shit? Yeah.
This is a weird one. I started looking up online, like, is this a new scam? And nothing's online about it. I'm like, oh, interesting.
So you and I both have allergies, and you can get Nasonex at Costco, or like, it's not called Nasonex, but it's Nasonex. But once upon a time, when I was first up here and struggling with allergies and things like that, I had a doctor prescribe it for me, and I was filling it at the CVS or something. And the lady was just making nice conversation with me, but she said almost verbatim, she says, Nasonex is the one thing people who get it prescribed don't ever refill, because they just say, go away, I don't really need it anymore. And I kind of was just like, well, fuck me then for thinking I needed to be here and get it from you.
Pete, you're the first guy to ever...
You're the only idiot in this town. Thanks a lot. Like, that doesn't... Like, how is that supposed to make me feel? Like, oh, I agree. Haha, you guys are annoying. No, I would give you my fucking Nasonex, but... But let me just... I thought it was interesting that you started off talking about your profession, which is telling kids things, right?
Uh-huh.
I want to relate something that's been sort of on my mind, something that I was told when I was a kid. And that, Stephen, was sugar bugs. Sugar
bugs?
This is a cautionary tale about what you should and shouldn't tell people. Now, see, when I was a kid, much like other people were also kids, I went to school, much like other people who were kids also went to school, kindergarten, preschool, things like that.
Yeah.
In the younger ages, say, I was in kindergarten when this happened, but it happened also in like elementary school up through, third, fourth grade. They would have kids' parents come in and talk about them. And sort of like, there's kind of a hierarchy, right? Because in 4th grade, my mom, who was like an administrative nurse, came in and sort of talked about her time in the military and talked about her time, as a nurse. Though now she was, at a desk doing more of the paperwork behind the scenes of healthcare, which is important, but it's not exactly interesting. But that was when we were older, when we were, like 10, 11, maybe we could grasp it a little bit. Before that, it's nothing but cops, firefighters, barbers, dentists, and doctors. It's a really obvious thing for kids to pick up on. And so when I was in kindergarten, they had a kid's dad come in, and he was a dentist. And I get it. I get it now. Part of what they're trying to tell you is how to take care of your teeth. A basic lesson you should teach a child. And I don't have anything against this man. But just to my point, the more advanced the subject is, the less you can really touch on what the real subject is until someone's old enough to understand it. Am I right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
This motherfucker told us that cavities were caused by sugar bugs. And to be sure, what he told us was not all that different from what it actually is. Bacteria in your teeth, usually coming in, glomming on food or sugar that's left in your teeth.
Right.
And cutting its way through the minerals of your teeth. He just called them bugs instead. And
there's bugs in your mouth.
As an adult, I can appreciate that what he was saying was approximately the same. And if he had gone into it and said there's bacteria on your teeth that do it, kids might not have fully grasped it. It was better to just go with sugar bugs.
Yeah, I could get that. I could be on that.
Here's my problem. I wasn't an anxious younger kid. But I am, as I am now, someone that tends to overthink things. And at that point, I overthought it. And I was deathly afraid that there were bugs in my teeth. Because this motherfucker got lazy and told me that sugar bugs are in your mouth making cavities, not something like bacteria. So I still don't fully understand. I can't really defend this too much on their end. Because while I appreciate they're trying to communicate a basic message, that message might be too advanced in its full spread for a little kid to understand, I am kind of like, you're capping and trading problems. Is what this is. Yeah. You're just calling them sugar bugs, but what you're kind of doing is infesting me with this memory years later when I'm overthinking something, being like, oh, there's bugs in my teeth. And that seems way more horrifying.
What? I mean, if anything, that may have been the poorest choice of words. Now you got kids going home, looking up their bug repellent.
Yeah.
Spraying that in their mouth.
I mean, at the risk of... Here, let me...
what's his dentist name? Let's call him up.
At the risk of giving knowledge here, I think the thing is you can pick certain words, and sugar bug is certainly something a young kid could kind of understand. It's very basic in its concept. But you don't have to sit there and be like bacteria, the monocellular organism that lives everywhere on the surface of the earth, including especially in places like your mouth and your asshole. And all these other places, You don't have to fucking say that part. Just jump straight to saying, there's like bacteria on your teeth as they are everywhere. They cause cavities. And therefore, leave me with a sense of what it actually is, and don't freak me the fuck out that I've got like praying, because to this day, when I think of sugar bugs, I think of like a praying mantis, a tiny praying mantis in between my teeth, and it's terrifying. It's a terrifying fucking idea. But
I'm going to cut holes for my home.
It was just fucking awful. But the weird thing is, too, here, I'll ask you this. Steve, if you have a leaky faucet at your house, how do you get it to stop leaking? What do you do?
Call a plumber.
Call a plumber. Okay, that's a good thing. What are you going to do?
I'm not a DIY guy.
You're going to come in, you're going to turn on your sink, you're going to turn it off. It's not going to stop dripping for a second. What are you going to do?
Just for a second?
What?
I'll leave it be.
Probably leave it be. Just see if it goes away.
Yeah.
Nice answer, Steve. The answer, Steve, here is you're gonna push really, really hard on the fucking handle because you don't think it's closed all the way.
I don't know if I do that. So.
I'm not gonna call myself a genius, Steve, but I am part of the old school which says if you don't turn something off all the way, it leaks. But what if something is all the way off and it's still leaking? Because my first thought about leaking faucets is It's not off all
It must
the way.
be tightened. Yeah, it has to be tightened.
It has to be tightened a little bit more. The screw's a little bit loose or something. I can also appreciate that over time it becomes a little bit loose. You got to get a plumber in. Maybe it's one of those things where it's like your shower head where there's just some water left in the shower head and it's got to drain out. But if it's leaky, my first and honestly true tried method to troubleshoot that is to crank that handle down.
Crank that.
Do you know why that is, though?
I'm trying to think.
Because literally no one ever told me how to fix a leaky faucet. So, sugar bugs. One demonstration of a thing that you told people and you wanted to teach people about, and it actually was worse off for having told us what that is. But no one ever told me about leaky faucets, and it's also worse off for not having been told that. Because
you know what? There's a point in my life. Oh no, keep going. I'm sorry.
No. I was just saying the leaky faucet thing. Crank down on the handle is not the greatest idea because you're going to bend the pipes and you might make the leak worse. In fact, you might just set and fucking loosen your walls and you might actually have to like turn off your water. So here's my lesson for everybody. Don't talk about sugar bugs. Talk about what it actually is. Also, talk about leaky faucets. And why tearing the thing out of the wall inadvertently is a really bad way of fixing it. Thank you.
Worst way. There was a point in my life. There was a point in my life where I had a buddy in high school. You remember Devin? Mm-hmm. I don't know if we should blur that name out. I know he's gonna know. His address.
Here, just say it again, and I'll just make a sound over it.
Sure, Devin.
Perfect. They'll never know who.
So, anyways, he was very good at building stuff.
Sure.
And there was a point where he found something online, and he's like, "Hey, we should build our own gonk droids from Star Wars."
Fun. Trash.
And I was like, "Heck yeah, dude! Teach me how to do that." So we build it, and his looks perfect as per usual because he's just really good at his hair. Mine, which I followed the exact same instructions, did the same cuts, is leading so bad that it looks like the Michael Jackson video of Smooth Criminal. I mean, it's doing that deep lean, and to this day, I give that. That was the moment that I said, you know what?
There's some things. That's what it is.
My gonk had Riz. No, for that moment, I just told myself, there's some things I'm not going to be able to do, and somebody else is going to have to fix this. So why don't I just call that person first?
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, something's wrong with my faucet. Plumber, come on over.
I'm fully happy to accept that there's people out there that know things more than I do. I think that's the way I base my reality. But the problem here is if someone with authority tells you something, or at least you understand their authority, they're just kind of making it a little bit different so you understand it better. On the whole, it either makes it worse, and you believe you have bugs in your teeth, or you don't know at all what you're fucking dealing with. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like this.
Well,
so sugar bugs are like this fucking. They're like the scare tactic to get kids to understand and care about it, but at the same time, it's not at all what it is.
Well, it's this crossroads in our lives as humans where we have to decide, am I gullible or trusting? Because some people tell me things and I'm just trying to learn, and they're making fun of it. And it's like, you bastards.
Innocent mind.
I believed you.
You can say whatever you want, and that's what you did. You abused my trust.
Like, I can imagine myself being like, how do I fix this toilet? They're like, oh, you just got to rip out this pipe and then put a new one in. I'm going to be over there ripping out the pipe. And they're like, why'd you do that, you idiot? I'm like, you told me
Somebody told me to do this.
I was following your instructions. Because I didn't think you'd do it. I asked you what to do.
Imagine myself years later, had I not sort of learned the right way, I would be sitting in the dentist thing being like, so are there a lot of sugar bugs in my teeth, dentist? I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Are the bugs there?
The bugs. God damn it.
Tell me the bugs are gone.
Yeah.
Tell me the bugs are gone, Daddy.
Or you start spraying like Raid all over your teeth, rubbing Raid all over your teeth to take care of the bugs. You know?
If it can get rid of roaches, it can get rid of sugar bugs.
Yeah. That sounds like something a former president would tell you to solve COVID-19. Maybe that's not too far off the mark.
It's plumb wild, man.
Plumb wild. How was your week, Steve?
It was okay. It was hard getting back to real life after a vacation.
Right. Right.
It was difficult to get through that. And then to make it worse, these last 3 weeks before, or 3.5 weeks before break, the next break is very short. It always feels short. And I decided to throw the most difficult thing at the beginners that they'll probably encounter for the whole year. Because I'm like, hey, why not suffer for the last 3.5 weeks? And it definitely felt like that for them. It felt like that for me. Because everybody just wants to kind of be like that Beetlejuice meme where he's like, what are you doing over there? And me? Yeah. Nothing. Just hanging around. And to be honest, I would love to do that for the next 2.5 weeks, but something in my brain was like, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's freaking go for it.
Yeah, not the children who are wrong.
Somebody think of the children. And so that was going good. D&D went weird. My session.
You mean like murder hobo weird or like fanfic erotica weird?
It was just like, so we were trying out Pathfinder for a little bit, and because of Japan, we had to stretch out the arc because we're gonna try it out and see if everybody wants to play it.
Right.
Half the people that wanted to play it didn't even show up to all the sessions.
Oh well, that's doesn't help. Disjointed.
And then and then we pushed the final session till after Japan because 2 people couldn't make it.
Right.
And then they canceled again on this one, and I was like, my goodness. So I ended up inviting a new person, and it went well at the end. But it was just kind of like this, like, man, we had this big old build up, and people just didn't come. It's the holiday season. Don't blame them.
Yeah. It's hard, man.
Yeah, but now next week I'm expecting like 10 people again. Yeah, because we're starting a new arc and just go back to D&D.
Just gotta erase it. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, all that paint for nothing.
You know,
see what else happened this week.
It's funny that it goes that way. It is kind of hard to get adults in the same room, which is true. Yeah. But it does seem like, especially if you're bending over backwards to make something work, that it's just like, you know what? Fuck that. Actually,
right. 100%. But I love it. I mean, I do it for fun, and I enjoy every minute of it.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Thinking about D&D got me thinking about Wizards of the Coast, which got me thinking about Pokemon cards, which got me thinking about why a booster pack of Pokemon cards in Japan is literally
so much cheaper.
It's $1. $1. And it's 5 cards. So, I mean, I know there's booster packs out here that are bigger than that, but if you're talking about 5 Pokemon cards or $1 in Japan, it should be $1 out here for the same number. And that's not even close, man.
No.
No,
not at all.
It's like $5, $6, $7, right? And I mean, most of my experiences with like Magic fucking booster packs go way the fuck up there, especially as they get older. But I can't believe how cheap they were.
No, I couldn't either. No. Everything. I mean, I know we talked about Japan in the last episode, but I bought my mom's birthday gift and myself a video game and this cool Mario bag for less money than what it cost me for a game and a half in America. Right. I mean, it was the same stuff. So
yeah.
Oh, I remember the last thing that happened this week.
What happened?
I went to Michael's. Because as a nerd, I do painting and stuff.
Crafting.
And for those who don't know, when you buy spray paint,
lots of middle-aged women buying fabric.
A lot of them, constantly.
Great dating scene, though. No problem.
The best. They love it when you chase them around the aisles. It's like a Benny Hill theme. Like, sir, please leave the Joannes. I was at Michael's, but the women's name were Joanne. There's a bunch of them.
Ironic.
Ironic, isn't it? But anyways, they keep the spray paint behind this cage. You gotta press a button for them to come get it. I wasn't even getting paint. I was just getting sealant.
Right. And
so they open the cage and they take the sealant out and they let you look at it. And then I grab for it. She pulls it away. She's like, no, we're going to bring this up to the cash register.
Out of your hands. No child.
Yeah, and I'm like, what do you think's going to happen between here and the cash register? Am I going to start taking it out and find all of your glossy stuff and start spraying matte sealant? Let's see you paint over this. You'll never change this back to glass. And it led me to believe, like, what if that's a villain outside of the world? Like, he's just going up to stop signs and taking his gloss sealant paint, spraying.
It's not reflective anymore, so there's lots of accidents or near accidents as people.
Or worse, you find one where the sun reflects off, and you're like,
back into space light.
You stop.
You like the greenhouse effect? Try matte black.
I wonder if you could spray a human matte. They're just like, my colors are so two-dimensional.
I was gleaming. Do it to a bodybuilder. Why is he so flat? But
we're gonna finally beat that big guy in the competition by spraying matte on his glistening muscle.
Right. That's fucking hilarious. There's a certain profile of people, I think, that it's sort of unfair to assume anything about anybody, but it seems crazy to me that you would ask someone to help you get something out, and then they would proceed to be like, actually, no, you can't carry this yourself. And I'm just like, lady, I just called attention to myself. Just watch me leave with it, and then come and stop me. You know, like
I couldn't figure out what the purpose of it was. I mean, I get having it behind a cage. That's fine. You know, you don't want teenagers coming and stealing it. But like you said, I press the button. There's cameras everywhere at Michael's. Because heaven forbid you steal one of the things that are 80% off 4 days a week.
God fucking forbid. Yeah.
Imagine stealing paintbrushes. Like, come on. But
cheapo paintbrushes that are always like $2.99.
Yeah, they're not the highest quality.
Yeah,
and so,
come on, guys.
It's just weird. I just don't know what they think I'm going to do with sealant from the front of the store to the back of it, because I'm buying it. It's waiting for me. So, anyways, that was my week.
Yeah.
How about yours, buddy? How was your week?
I'll be honest, man. There's been something on my. I know I shouldn't be aggravating people like this, but we got in a little bit of trouble going back in time. You know, the time authorities came out, gave us kind of a slap on the wrist. We have some friends in the department, you know.
Time cops, yeah.
There were some things I regret that we did. It was an enriching jump through time. It was nice to talk to, you know, our medieval peers and really give them some wisdom to drive them towards the future, prepare them better. But I just been there's some business I want to take care of in the past.
Yeah.
And
right now?
I don't. Yeah. And I mean it's just been stuck on my mind all week. I can't think of a better person to help me do this. Like, it's really important to me. So, and I'm just, you know, I'm a little bit struck, but we're just going to have to fly in the face of the authority, if you don't mind. Would you mind just going on a little trip with me?
I wouldn't take on time cops with anybody else.
All right. Let me get the device out. Give me a heads up when you're ready.
Hit it. Hit it. Hit it.
Oh my God! All right, this is the place. Hey, you, come here. Hey, what's going on? Oh my God, is that me? What do you mean, is it me? Of course it's you.
What happened to
your? I
mean, my hair and my muscles. And
you
shit.
always were a rude little shit.
Oh my God, is that Steven? Steven, man, you look great. Are we ever going to do that podcast and try to be internet famous, bro? I just can't. Oh my God, don't slap me.
Slap you all I want. I slap myself all I want.
Damn it, ow.
Why are you hitting yourself?
I'm not.
Why are you hitting
yourself?
yourself?
Stop hitting me.
Why are you hitting yourself?
God damn it, man.
Shut up.
Okay.
Shut up. Listen to me. Only got a minute. Okay. So you better listen.
What?
Go to class. Go to
what
class.
About COD
No, I don't
Zombies?
fucking care. I don't fucking care what excuses you got.
What about
whatever
9
else
Gag?
is going on. Video games are
doing a
cool.
LAN
Not
party
that
tomorrow.
important. Go to class. You can play games later. Okay.
Game off.
Okay. Number 2, buy Bitcoin. It makes no sense. Buy Bitcoin. What
the fuck's
okay?
Bitcoin?
If you don't know what Bitcoin is, read about it. Yeah, it's gonna sound risky. It's gonna sound crazy. Do it. I swear to God. Sometime in the 2020s, sell them. Sell all of them.
Bro,
You're gonna be
it's like
great.
15
Don't worry
years
about it.
from now.
Number 3, go to the gym. Okay.
Gym? Oh,
No,
come
I mean
on.
you're in
Every
reasonably good
day.
shape. But listen, more
Come
gym
on,
now,
man.
better time later.
I play
Okay.
rugby.
Stretch in the mornings. Do some yoga.
Stretching the yoga.
Stretch in the morning. Stretch in the mornings. Do some
sort of
yoga.
shit is this?
Keep
What
those
are
keep your joints limber. Take collagen. Okay?
Collagen?
And wear sunscreen, okay?
That's more than one thing.
Yeah, that's more than one thing.
Ow!
Why are you hitting
Oh,
yourself?
God.
Don't talk
God,
back
come
to
on,
me.
stop it.
Don't
Stop
talk
it yourself.
back to me yourself. Don't talk back to
This is
yourself.
crazy,
Understand
man.
me?
Stop talking back to
And
me.
what did I say? Repeat it back to me.
A Bitcoin, a sunscreen.
Again,
Gym.
repeat it.
A Bitcoin, sunscreen, gym,
Fucking
collagen,
listen.
yoga.
Bitcoin,
I am
sunscreen,
listening.
collagen, yoga.
Okay, Bitcoin sunscreen,
Class,
collagen, yoga. Gym, Bitcoin, sunscreen, yoga. Do it. Class, gym, Bitcoin, sunscreen, collagen, yoga. Bitcoin, gym, collagen, yoga. Got it?
God, Pete, this guy's so dumb.
Got it? I got
Listen
it.
to me.
I got it.
Listen to me. Why are you hitting yourself?
Why are
hitting
you
yourself?
doing this to me?
I don't honestly know. I mean, I'm not gonna get this opportunity again. Okay, have a good time. Have a nice life. Oh yeah, and Trump becomes president.
Are you
okay?
fucking kidding?
Oh, thanks, Steve. That was.
Did it work?
I've been thinking about it. You know what? Let me. Motherfucker.
Did you?
I mean, my joints feel pretty good all of a sudden, but he bought Dogecoin
stocks?
instead.
Oh,
Fuck.
no.
I just checked my Robinhood. I got at least $100,000 in Dogecoin. Okay. I mean, at least 5 of the 6 things went through. That's fine. No skin cancer. Hey, look, I can dance.
Thank you.
I guess it worked.
It was. My name is Steve.
And my name is Pete.
This has been PnS Waste Your Time.
Waste your time. Do I get to be in the credits twice?
Yep. PnS Waste Your Time.
PnS Waste Your Time is a production of Pete and Steve. All characters and events in the show are entirely fictional, and any resemblance to any real people are entirely coincidental.
Well, like, what I'm trying to say is...
Thanks!